Today I'm making arroz con gandules. I made this 2 weeks ago and it came out pretty good. Some of the ingredients that you need is some vinegar, some green olives. I put some green onions to top it with just because I like it, but the recipe doesn't call for this. You're going to put an onion, garlic. It says about 2 or 3. I put about 5 or 6 just because I like a lot of garlic and I'm doubling the recipe. Green bell peppers chopped, some Goya pigeon peas or gandules. So every recipe is different. I'm putting a little bit of a Mexican twist to it with some tomato sauce that's a little spicy, salt and pepper, and some Goya adobo seasoning. And the star of the dish is the culantro and achote sazon. You need this, otherwise it's not going to taste the same. Apart from that, what you also have to do, this is 2 cups of white rice. You have to drain it. So you see how the water's nice and clear? When you wash your rice, for those of you that don't wash your rice, you should wash your rice. But when you initially wash it, it comes out kind of like horchata, like it's like cloudy. So you have to keep on washing it until it's nice and clear. So usually about 4 or 5 times of doing this, and then it starts coming out nice and clear. Also, I normally make it vegetarian style, but my husband wants some meat. So this is some cooked ham that I've cubed. And what we're going to do is we're going to pan fry it a little bit so the oil can get some of that taste before we start cooking all the other ingredients together. Oh, and the recipe that I'm using comes actually behind the can right there. And of course you can add whatever you want to it. There's a bunch of different kind of recipes. If you ask people just like Spanish rice, there's gonna be like 10,000 different kinds and ways to do it. But yeah, it's up to you, whatever your preference is. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn this on. Put it on high for right now, just so it can heat up. And then once it's nice and hot, I'll add the ham. And just be careful because it's gonna jump. Okay, and depending on your caldero, you can either use a metal spoon or a wooden spoon, whatever you prefer. And this kind of goes with everything. You can eat it like that by itself, or you can cheat like I'm gonna do today and buy a roasted chicken, or you can roast your own chicken, or some pork chops, or I don't know, whatever you want. Depends up to you. It's still getting hot. So something that I like to do, I like to move it around like so to get all the oil around the entire pan. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. Okay, you can kind of hear the sizzle, so I'm going to lower the heat a little bit. And I'll put one in there to see. Yep, it's ready. And in it goes. Okay. Put a little bit hotter. Okay, so the thing about the ham is it's going to release a lot of juice, which is good because you want that juice to mix with the oil so it can give it some flavor. Now remember, the ham is already cooked, so all we really want is que se adore un poquito, so get it a little bit of that golden brown, and then we can start adding the other ingredients. So I'm going to start making some of these videos just because I get a lot of questions and people asking for recipes of some of the stuff that I make. I guess you can call myself a modern home cook because sometimes it's made from scratch 100%, sometimes I improvise, so it just depends. I work full time also, and a mama, so it's kind of hard. always making everything from scratch, but I'll also post the recipe on there for those that want to copy it. Oh, in the microwave, that's nothing, that's just my coffee. There it goes. Hear the sizzle. It's getting its cook on. Smells yummy. Speaking about coffee, one time I was heating up my coffee in the microwave and I didn't realize how hot it was. Duh. And I went to grab it. It was so hot. The handle was so hot. I guess it wasn't a microwave safe cup. It spilled everywhere all over my oven. I burned my hand. Had a big old blister. It's crazy. So now when I heat up my coffee, I know it's not the best thing to do, but I tend to not finish my coffee right away, so it gets cold. Once I heat it up, I always check it before. I have a bunch of scars in my cooking. You know, trial and error. Alright, so we're almost there. Stop moving it around so it could start getting a little toasty. Somebody needs to really invent smell-o-vision so you guys can really smell how this smells to me. Alright, so you see how those little bits and pieces are getting stuck right there in the pan? Don't worry, because once we put the onions, all that's going to lift up, and the onions is going to carry the flavor of the jamon. Okay, so all I did was remove the ham and put it on the side for right now so I can cook it. This is onion and garlic. Okay, so you want the onions to get translucent with the garlic. And see how it starts picking up all that droppings in there. Yummy! Now you add the bell peppers. The husband just got home. I recorded you. Okay, so this is the part that goes fast. So I cooked the onions and the garlic and then the bell pepper, and now I added the arroz, and now I'm going to put all the seasonings in there. So this is the sazon. It's going to change the rice to like an orangey color. Okay, so you put the sazon, and then you put the adobo in there, the Goya adobo. And then you can add the salt and pepper. Okay, I ended up putting the can of tomato sauce in there, and now I'm putting the pigeon peas with the caldo. And when I mean caldo, I mean the juice that it comes in. Alright, so after the gandules and the tomato sauce, I added the ham back in. And I added 4 cups of water since I made 2 cups of rice. This is what it looks like. We're going to bring this up to a boil. Added about 2 tablespoons of vinegar. And now I'm going to add the Goya green olives. Make sure they're Spanish olives with the pimentos inside. Okay, so you can add as much olives as your little heart desires. And you also put the juice in there. So about half of the juice in there and half of the olives is what I'm using for 2 cups of rice. So again, all we do is mix it around. We're going to bring it up to a boil. And once the water is level to the rice, we're going to put the cover on and step away. And in 20 minutes, the rice will be ready. So as we're waiting for it to boil, this is where you would add the salt and whatever seasoning you think it needs additionally. I'm going to put some more Goya adobo. So So depending on what your taste buds tell you, I normally like to get a little bit of the broth. And taste it. It's so good. All those flavors mixing and marinating in there together while it steams. Qué rico. So as it starts to get ready to boil, you want to make sure that you're constantly stirring it because you don't want the rice to get stuck. So I put it back on high so I can bring it up to a boil. Okay, see the bubbles starting to simmer? A little taster.
Yummy.
See?
Wow.
Wow.
Does it have carrots?
No. It has green pepper, green olives, onions, garlic. Careful, mommy, no te vas a caer. And then it has some tomato sauce, the rice. It's gonna be yummy. So it's starting to get thicker. Okay, see how it is? It's almost level. They say they can make a spoon stand in the middle that it's ready for you to cover and cook. So let's lower the heat and cover. And now we're gonna put the timer 20 minutes. Should be ready.